I'll tell you one thing. An editor can tell in the first 5 pages if they want to look at this anymore. That's all you get. You get the cover letter. They judge it by the cover letter, too. If you can't construct a good cover letter, they won't even open it. That's it. You've got like a minute at the most, really, to seriously impress someone. After you get the query and they say, yes, we want to see it.
It's a fiercely competitive world with a very small market.
If you are good, the bottom line is if you can write and you stick with it, you will find a home. If you can't write, there's not a prayer. So write. You can't learn to write without writing. Physically do the work. Set aside 2 hours a day, every other day, whatever it takes. There's also a book called A Writer's Time. It's for time management for writers. This is also invaluable. And it's not, we didn't reference this. A Writer's Time.
Another thing you can do is write short stories and send those out, try and get
Start with McCall's.
get published before you start sending them out.
Small fiction, they're easy because they have a constant grist mill. They need stuff.
Yes.
Start with that.
But we check the requirements first, because some of them are very picky or have very special
Talk
standards.
to this guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I can tell.
And read, if you want to submit to a magazine, read copies of it first, because no matter what you read about it, it may seem different once you actually get to look at it.
No.
Go to the library.
Do your
Get
homework.
Back issues. Do your homework.
You want to appear as professional and knowledgeable as possible. If you bounce up and say, I've got a story, will you read it? They're going to say, no.
Go to the library. That's the first step.
Well, it's just like, you got to think of yourself too, objectively. It's like when you go to a bookstore and you're looking at whatever you like, and the first thing that catches your eye is the cover. And then you flip it over and you read the little synopsis at the back that tells you what the book is about. Any reader who reads a ton will decide whether they really want to read this book, and they usually sit there in the bookstore and read the first 2 pages of the book to see if it catches their attention enough that they want to put down almost $5 on a paperback nowadays.
If you lose a reader once, you may
Get
shut
it
again.
back.
If you lose them twice, hang it up. They will not pick the book up again.
They'll put them aside.
Whatever you submit, these family stories and stuff like that, do they have to be in the family name?
Not usually.
How is that usually?
Typewritten, preferably. If you're going to handwrite and submit,
Does it have
ask
to
the
be
editor.
double-spaced and all that?
No. But don't send originals. Send copies.
All the way.
And if you want it back, please send SASEs. That's in all cases, if you even want to reply. Because an editor, the stamp, the load for postage is horrendous. You can go broke, literally, with mass mailings.
Just answering letters is staggering. The postal system becoming more erratic and more expensive by the day.
Send SASEs.
The bottom line to all of this is write. Writing requires practice like anything
Write
else.
and read. Read everything. From classics, I don't know, supermarket pulp. Just read.
Preferably more of the former.
Yes.
You're not going to learn a heck of a lot out of
You
Steady
don't have
Diet
to-
of Harlem and Romance.
Are you saying that the market for, if I understood it correctly, novelizations was on hold? Because we were able to publications this week. That's,
It's still on hold. It's been on hold for a decade. Why is that?
so they're not anticipating any.
We don't know.
Not at this point.
It's like,
If they haven't shut it down, they haven't said no, they're just not going on. Their original contract was for 3 books. They fulfilled that. It may be contract negotiations, we don't know. But they're not coming out right now.
It's just an issue.
I'll tell you another place, but I have been some ideas for stories, because that's going back to reading some of these classical poetry. There are things, lines in there, like I found one, there was there was a thing in there that, I think it's violence, where this lady had given him, she was an admirer of him, of his work, and she had given him a lock of her hair woven with silicone hair, and I think it was out of the ribbon. And I wrote a story about that. I used Vincent and Catherine, and they used it like a Valentine.
did all of you hear that?
No.
Read classical poetry like Byron, Shelley, Keats,
There's some
Yeats,
wonderful.
and get some images and some ideas from there to carry forward in the Beast stuff.
Yes. Victorian romance translates things.
Yes.
Rilke is very dark and
Very
moody.
dark.
He's good for Vincent, though.
Oh,
It's
yes,
very
very-
brooding.
Yes.
He's good.
But inspiration comes from all manner of places, lyrics to songs, conversations. I knew one pair, it was a writer and an artist. The artist got ideas from the writer's work, and the writer's ideas were fired by looking at the art. It was a really interesting little spiral.
So go, look at Michelangelo's work, the sculptures. It really can, read is really, it helps to read a lot, like 20 minutes before you go to bed. And it also trains your ear. You don't even have to read the classics like Shakespeare and all that. If you can't read it, go and get like biographies like Irving Stone and James Michener, because they're good writers. And they'll teach you flow, you'll train your ear, you'll train your mind, and it really helps your writing.
The interesting thing is when you've written more than one story, you'll be able to see the progression of your own abilities and your own style and comparing each one to the first, and it's really staggering. Sometimes it's dangerous because we'll look at the first couple of things you put out and say, I want to fix that.
I was about to say,
Give it back, give it back.
I actually wrote that.
Why is that there?
And keep your drafts just for.
Oh, they're fun. They're fascinating.
But you have to end in the next 2 minutes. So, is there anything else? We're doing it. Thank you. But we're doing an editors, a zine publishing editors workshop tomorrow.
Yes.
sometime.
Phase 2 is tomorrow.
Right. For the publishing.
It will be.
That isn't going to conflict with
Is it 1 or
No, not at all. I think it's 11.
11:15.
11?